If you're getting ready for your IBA admission test, you're in the right place. We're going to master some really important vocabulary words together, and I'll show you how to make them simple, clear, and super easy to remember. So here's our game plan. We're going to learn these words in SMART groups. We'll start with words about feelings and big ideas, then move to words that are clear versus confusing. After that, we'll look at powerful words of contrast, and finally, words that describe actions. This strategy is going to help them stick, so let's get started. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, Words of Feeling and Insight. These are words that help you talk about some pretty powerful emotions and those moments of sudden understanding. First up, we have elation. Now, elation is not just being happy. It's that next level, over-the-top joy you feel when you achieve something incredible. Think about the elation you'd feel after totally acing a tough exam or seeing your favorite team win a championship. That's elation. Next is adversity. Adversity is all about the hard times, the difficult situations or challenges we all have to face. Preparing for a really tough exam. That's a kind of adversity. It's a negative word for sure, but we often use it to talk about overcoming something, which feels pretty positive. And check this out. See how adversity is used here to really show strength? Despite facing significant adversity, she managed to graduate with honors. It shows how going through something negative can actually highlight a positive quality, like being resilient. Then we've got aversion. This is way more than just a simple dislike. An aversion is a really strong feeling of, nope, not for me. If you have an aversion to spiders, you're not just going to ignore them. You're going to actively avoid them. It's that powerful no thank you feeling. And rounding out this group, epiphany. An epiphany is that classic aha moment. When a really complex idea is just confusing, and then all of a sudden, boom, it all becomes crystal clear. That sudden flash of understanding is an epiphany. All right, on to Section 2, the clear versus the confusing. Being able to tell the difference is a huge skill, especially when you're trying to understand those tricky texts in your IBA exam. First, vague. When something is vague, it's unclear because it's missing details. It's fuzzy. Imagine someone gives you vague directions to their house, like, oh, it's just down that road a bit. You're probably going to get lost, right? That lack of information is what makes it vague. Okay, let's look at two words that can seem similar but are really different. Ambiguous and equivocal. Something is ambiguous when it's unclear because it could mean a few different things. A confusing text message might be ambiguous. But something is equivocal when it's unclear on purpose, to mislead you. A politician who doesn't want to answer a question often gives an equivocal response. The key difference is intent. Now, for abstruse. This word describes something that is just really, really hard to understand because it's so complex or deep. Think about topics like quantum physics or really advanced philosophy. For most of us, those subjects are pretty abstruse. So when you're faced with something abstruse or vague, your goal is to discern its meaning. To discern something is to figure it out, to see or understand something that isn't obvious. It takes careful thought, but with effort, you can discern the real point. Moving on to Section 3, Powerful Words of Contrast. This is an awesome memory trick, learning words by pairing them with their opposites. Let's see how it works. Let's start with clement and inclement. Clement means mild and gentle, so you can talk about clement weather. It's sunny, pleasant, just perfect for a picnic. The opposite is inclement weather. Think harsh, stormy, stay inside kind of weather. And this same idea works for people, too. A clement boss is merciful and kind, while an inclement one would be really harsh. Next up, let's compare bolster and feeble. To bolster something means to strengthen it, to support it. You can bolster your argument with strong evidence to make it more powerful. And the opposite? Feeble. Feeble just means weak. A feeble excuse is one that's not going to convince anybody. And we're on to our final section, words about actions. These are great words because they add precision, helping you describe exactly how an action is performed. First, shun. To shun something isn't just to avoid it, it's to deliberately and intentionally reject it. It's a really strong word that suggests you disapprove of it. For instance, you might decide to shun unhealthy habits, or a person who did something wrong might be shunned by their friends. Next up is avert, which is a really useful verb because it has two distinct meanings. First, it can mean to prevent something bad from happening. For example, quick thinking could help avert a disaster. Second, it can mean to turn away from something, usually because it's unpleasant. Like you might avert your eyes from a scary part in a movie. And our final word is fastidious. A fastidious person is incredibly careful and pays super close attention to every little detail. Think of a surgeon who has to be extremely precise, or an artist who makes sure every single brushstroke is perfect. They are fastidious.